Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2014. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. As another financial year wraps up, the private sector is being encouraged by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves to give their workers bonuses. Speaking at an event in Chateaubriand yesterday afternoon, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said that the government is doing its part as it relates to the Inland Revenue Department, and the private sector should do their part by awarding their employees with bonuses.
And I am encouraging them in this way. For the bonus, if you give $250 bonus, up to $250, you can give more if you want. But for the first $250, which you give bonus, the worker doesn't have to pay any tax on that bonus. So the worker will save $60-something out of that bonus. And to encourage the employers, the companies, if you give $250 or anything you give above $250, but for the first $250, I allowing you to write off half of that in relation to your taxes. So basically, you will only be paying $125 out of that $250. So if the news give you a bonus of $250, comrade, you make a saving yourself, and your company will make a saving. So that way I want to encourage the private sector to give.
The government yesterday afternoon held a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of Bailey Bridges at Chateaubriand Plan, Kakarta Fitzhughes and Top Shops. Christine John Dean has more on the ceremony in this report.
In the Ministry of Transport and Works, Brent Bailey says the scope of work planned for the construction of a Bailey Bridge in Chateaubriand includes the demolition of the existing bridge and the reconstruction of abutments.
The road elevations are going to change naturally. We should be raising it another 2 feet to allow for clear span. I believe we are on 4 span, so this is a 40-foot clear span bridge. We're going to be reinstalling gabion defenses downstream, reinstating the roadworks. Upstream as well, we're going to be putting in river defenses to effectively channel the waters that are coming from the upper watersheds and channel them all the way down to the sea, so that when an event such as this reoccurs, the likelihood of the damming and the erosion and those sorts of activities is significantly reduced.
He added that in Kakarta Fitzhughes they plan to reconstruct a new bridge as well as river defenses.
Similarly, we will be constructing new abutments up in Cocoa, Top Shops, and installing Bailey bridges as well. Now the bridge will be a permanent feature, even though Bailey bridges are typically utilized for temporary situations, for bypass roads and bridges and so forth. These structures will remain in place.
The projects are being supported by the government of Ecuador, representing the Ecuadorian Army Corps of Engineers, who will be working on these projects. Major Manuel Carambas says the bridges will not only connect places, but unite people.
Unite dreams, to unite hopes of the fraternal nations. With Mr. Prime Minister's permission, I resume it with my speech. Conventional wisdom says that good friends are known when difficulties arise.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves thanked the government and people of Ecuador for their quick response in assisting the country with $11.3 million to build the 4 bridges.
One bridge at Hope, Peniston, a concrete structure. It is going to be the longest bridge in the country, about 24 meters. And we are building 3 Bailey bridges. This is one of them. here in Plan, and we are building at Sharps and at Kakata Fituse. These 4 bridges have come about consequent upon a visit that I paid to Ecuador in July.
Following the ceremony, an official groundbreaking was held, which was done by the ULP candidate for the North Leeward constituency in the upcoming general elections, Carlos James, and Major Manuel Carambas of Ecuador. Kristen John Dean reporting for SVG-TV News.
Meanwhile, one major challenge set to be affecting the Ministry of Works is road networking across the country. Chief Engineer Brent Bailey said presently the primary goal of the ministry is to protect the existing road networks. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of Bailey bridges in the Chateaubelair area, Bailey says the Ministry of Works plans to construct a coastal defense in Darkview and Rosebank to protect the roads and the community.
Project we plan on to get started somewhere around mid 2015. That is a major project. We plan to do similar activities in Sandy Bay as well as Sanssouci. Sandy Bay next year, Sanssouci more than likely would be in mid 2016. These are major activities for us because the state of the country now and the state of our coastal areas, we are losing coastline at a rate of 5 feet inland a year.
He added that at the rate the country is going, it will not have a lot of coastal roads in the next 10 years.
As a government, as a people, have to start looking very carefully at where we have to strategically place our infrastructure to ensure that our communities, our coastal communities such as this one, Chateaubelair, Darkview, Sandy Bay, Sanssouci, Spring, Baraboo, the list goes on and on, that we protect these communities, that we protect the road network that passes through these communities. Because once we lose the coastal road, remember, as I said before, there isn't sufficient internal roads to allow us to properly traverse to get to our destinations.
Minister responsible for the public service, Maxwell Charles, is calling on public servants who have been performing and producing below the optimum level to lift their game. The call was reiterated at the opening ceremony of a workshop yesterday on improving productivity and accountability in the public sector.
To reconnect and recommit to the tasks for which they have been entrusted to do. Fellow servants, it is incumbent on all of us to provide a workplace that has a culture of accountability and one that is performance driven. For some, this might seem daunting or even impossible at times, but irrespective of our immediate fears and perceptions, we are the ones who are tasked with carrying and leading the charge of the public service.
Charles told the public servants to lead from the front and be productive as well as responsible.
Maslow once said, to the person who only has a hammer in the toolkit, every problem looks like a nail. Greater accountability and improved productivity eliminates the time and energy spent in unproductive behavior that produces wasted effort and confusing distractions. It has been said that people at all levels engage in these ineffective behaviors in their daily work, and the price paid by both individuals and organizations for the lack of accountability and mediocre productivity is significant. No organization, private or public, can afford to pay the price for a lack of accountability and unproductivity.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves will debut his radio program, Ask the Prime Minister, tonight on 3 radio stations. Ask the Prime Minister will commence at 8 p.m. on NBC Radio and will also be carried by Star Radio and Garifuna Radio. On the program, Prime Minister Gonsalves is expected to answer questions from the public via email or telephone calls. The program will run for a duration of 1 hour. Businessman Leon Biggs Samuel was this morning found guilty of 3 traffic-related charges. The charges were brought against him by the Traffic Department during the staging of a one-man protest in Kingstown on December 17th. That should be November 17th. He was found guilty of failing to comply with the road safety sign, causing unnecessary obstruction to the free flow of traffic, and failing to remove his vehicle when he was instructed to do so. The 4th charge of causing inconvenience to traffic was dismissed. Samuel was ordered to pay in total $800 by January 5th, 2015. Still to come, President of the local Hotel and Tourism Association appeals to members to get registered and certified. More stories on the local scene when SVGTV News continues. With news that local tourism service providers are being given until January 2015 to get their houses in order and to get registered, President of the Hotel and Tourism Association, Kim Halbish, says it is imperative that everyone in the industry get the necessary certification. Halbish told SVG-TV News, the establishment of the certification and standards by the Tourism Authority is a good initiative for benchmarking and improving service in the local industry. She cautioned hoteliers not to be comfortable in their operations, but to consistently strive to improve their services.
There are some issues where, as I said, persons are comfortable in how they operated for many years and they don't want anybody to come in and tell them what to do and how to do it, and etc., etc. Added to that, we've had a difficult, and maybe the last 5-6 years has been difficult economically, so some persons cannot afford to make the necessary changes. But what we're asking the members to do is still register. Take your time and put one step at a time so that you're able to ultimately get to the needed goal. And so some of the difficulties is that funding and you know, just the want to change.
Police officer Hanif Johnson will be ordained to the Holy Order of Priests within the Anglican Archdeaconry here. The ordination of Deacon Johnson to priesthood will take place on Monday, December 8th from 5 p.m. at the St. George's Cathedral in Kingstown. Deacon Johnson is a graduate of the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, Barbados, where he holds a Bachelor in Theology. He also holds a second-class Honours Associate of Science degree from the UWI Open Campus, SVG. During his service with the RSVG Police Force, the constable worked in several departments and credits the organizations for instilling in him discipline and obedience. Monday's ordination will be administered by Bishop of the Windward Islands, Leopold Friday. The newly ordained priest will celebrate his first Mass on Wednesday, December 10th at St. Mark's Anglican Church, Greg's, at 6 p.m. 15 whiteboards have been donated to the Langley Park Government and the Clare Valley Government Schools by the St. Vincent Brewery Limited. The donation was made possible by the Chief Executive Officer of the brewery, Bernard Novick. At a media conference earlier today, Regional Commercial Manager at the brewery, Shafia London Williams, says the initiative is the CEO's way of giving back to the Vincentian community and assist with the educational development of the nation's youth.
And we are hoping that this is just the start of many things to come, and that other entities would follow us and assist the ministry in this transformation in ensuring that our children are at all times safe and they're healthy. As a company, safety and healthy is our #1 priority. In fact, our worldwide CEO tells us that no financial obligation is greater than the safety of our people, and our theme is we want to be the best beer company in a better world. So the better world for us is having a future generation that is healthy and a future generation that is safe, and children spend most of their times in the classroom anyway.
Senior Education Officer for Primary Schools, Joycelyn Blake Brown, expressed gratitude for the donation of the whiteboards to the schools, which bears a cost of $15,000 US. She says the donation comes at a time when the Ministry of Education is adhering to the United Nations Children Fund UNICEF Child Friendly School Initiative.
Quality education is the hallmark of effective schools, and recently this has been a focus. The Ministry of Education has adopted the UNICEF Child Friendly Initiative, and if you visit our school, you will certainly see the transformation in the learning environment, where we are providing access to all of our learners, and at the same time, we are making school fun places. The schools fun places. The donation of the whiteboard will certainly enhance the learning environment by supporting the teaching learning activities. The donation is certainly timely and a wise choice.
SVG Broadcasting Corporation is this year hosting its biggest Christmas promotions yet on its stations Hits 91.5 and 103.7 and Easy Radio 102.1. The Bells of Christmas is one such promotion which will give listeners the opportunity to win up to $5,000 in cash in the grand prize draw. A member of the SVG BC Sales and Marketing team, Esther Davis, says the aim of the promotion is to get Vincentians hyped for Christmas, as well as to say thank you for the support throughout the years.
The biggest in the year promotion this year is called the Bells of Christmas. Basically, it's going to be on Hits 103.7 and 91.5 and Easy Radio 102.7, 91.1. The whole basis of the promotion is to give back to our listeners and helping our sponsors to be able to increase. We are practically the only person that creates a big promotion at the end of the year from a station. The aim of the promotion is to keep our customers happy, and in the spirit of Christmas, sometimes people can't really afford to buy a lot, but during this time when they get chances to call in on air, they usually get an opportunity to have lots of fun and to win other stuff. The Bells of Christmas promotion will culminate with 5 random persons being chosen at the end of it. This is going to take place on the 19th of December at the Expert Conference Center, that's upstairs Music Center, where we will see these persons face off in a contest to win coveted prizes over $5,000.
Another member of the sales and marketing team, Keisha Billingy, says they want to give everyone an opportunity to win some of the great prizes that are part of the promotions, especially to Hits FM listeners.
7 years we have been doing some really exciting radio promotions. This year we will be doing a total of 5 promotions between Hits 103.7 and Easy Radio. Now the 12 days of Christmas, this starts tomorrow, December the 3rd, and would go until the 18th. This is where we would be giving out clues daily. Listeners would then call in to see if they can guess what the prize for that day would be. Another exciting promotion that we're having is Radio Farm. We did it 2 years back and it was crazy. Persons are asking for it, so we're doing it again this year. You would call in, they choose a door. It could be a pig or a turkey behind the door. But the thing is, you would now have to answer a question if you get it correct before you can redeem your ham or your turkey. You will now have to make the sound of that particular piece. Another well-received program that we're bringing back this year is Christmas Cash with Western Union, and it's $1,000 total. So one person can actually walk away with $1,000 if no one gets the questions correctly during the following days.
Billingy says Easy Radio will also be having its own promotions for its loyal listeners.
Easy Radio Detective. This is a new program that we're introducing now on Easy Radio. This is where we would be giving out codes, let's say numbers. I may tell you decode number 1, 3, 5, and 8. Listeners would then have to decode by using their phone pads to form a word. You get that word correctly, you stand a chance of winning amazing grand prize and the chance to win the grand prize, which is valued over $5,000.
Vincentians have been urged to come out this Sunday, December 7th, not only for an evening of fashion and entertainment, but also to support a fundraising cause for a kidney transplant for a young woman here. Organizer of the D-Square fashion event and founder of Tivoli and Fiachi, Nicotello Providence, told SVG-TV News that Sunday's event will be staged at the Blue Lagoon in Rathamale and will feature some 10 local designers and 20 models on a single runway.
Jeremy Payne, there's Cathy Bailey, there's Gian Adams, there's My Styles, Tivoli and Piacha Styles, there's Kimon Baptiste, and there's a lot more.
Okay, so besides the floating runaway, what you think would set the show apart from many of the other shows that we've seen here in St. Vincent?
Well, it's also the first show that we have VIP seating and a catamaran, it's all inclusive. Also, this event is for a good cause also, because there's a young lady by the name of Ian Finley who needs a kidney transplant, and proceeds from this event goes towards that aid. We have special guest appearances. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but when you get there, you will see them. The VIP, I'm telling you guys are in for a great experience.
D Square Fashion Show is scheduled to commence at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Winning EC $10,000 has not only benefited Antonia Robertson, but has also helped her church, Hope for Life Restoration Ministries. Robertson is the second winner in the Digicel's Together We Make Christmas Better promotion, which is this year awarding persons with huge sums of cash. Robinson won her share of money last Friday at the Sunrise Supermarket in Honnestvale after taking part in a Digicel organized treasure hunt. The Honnestvale resident, who teaches at the Kingston Preparatory School, says she is very excited about her winnings. Robertson said that she will give 1/10 of the money to her church, while the rest will go towards paying her tuition, as she is currently pursuing studies at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. The next winner for the Digicel Christmas promotion will be drawn this Friday.